There comes a time in one's life when he must let go and let God, a saying that holds even more weight to those that are staring down the chasm of their future. The reality that the world is without all the answers is one too that plagues the mind of young teens and early adults. I too was confronted with this idea far quicker than I could have ever imagined. 8th grade had come and by without me even knowing, but I had drifted farther from God than I ever had in my entire life. Then came June. Up to that point, I had drifted. I was given an opportunity to go to a camp for children with my youth group, one that I took rather eagerly. I was a little nervous, of course, but a long drive later, and I arrived. Little did I know that this camp would change my entire life and my entire future. One foot on the uneven grass, while the other was stuck in the old van. The old van encapsulating my past, and the other encapsulating the future. The other foot followed, and I was fully committed into this camp. Still a little nervous as my heart beat inside my chest, I followed the other teens sort of as a shield as I trudged my way over to the camp. I was met with a long room, kind of old, kind of decaying, but still fresh, and had the smell of food that had just been made. A sense of joy was around too as you looked every which way, with children all around, happy and joyous to start out this new adventure. I was nervous, of course, for I always have been kind of shy. I mean, when you put me in a new environment, I become non-existent. It would be an anomaly to see me even speak a word, but I knew this time was different. Somebody trusted in me. Everyone trusted in me. I was assigned a group of kids, maybe 10, maybe 12, and these kids, I was there to help change their lives, to bring them closer to the Lord. But little did I know, these kids would change my life more than I think I ever did theirs. We talked a bit, we enjoyed the food, but one thing became clear, one thing I never anticipated, and one thing that would terrify me. I was let known that I would need to jump into the lake as a sort of funny game for the children at the end of the week. One may laugh and think, why in the world should somebody worry about just jumping into a lake? That's not that bad. Well, as a kid, I had a weird dream that gave me the sensation of drowning, so that scarred me for life. I never enjoyed water after really that. I would play in the occasional pool, one that was short but nothing deep. But when push came to shove, I would choose not to be in the water. But if one's swimming, just be smart and not go in the deep side and you won't drown, so there's nothing to worry about. But that is where the key part is being left out. I didn't know how to swim. I went through every moment with the idea of jumping in the lake looming over my body like a giant shadow everywhere I looked. Could I have said no? Perhaps, but I knew, as a young man, I didn't want to look dumb, but most importantly, I didn't want to let the kids down. I wanted to show them that I could do it. And what better way to learn how to swim, though, than from the kids themselves? Not only would they be able to help me, but I ultimately gave up my pride, letting them know that I couldn't swim. At the time, I didn't think that I was being vulnerable, or that I was giving something up to them. But that could have changed their lives, understanding that you can have faults and you can have failures, but as long as you continue to work at it, you are still worth it. So I worked like a training montage, day in and day out, trying to learn how to swim. I was failing, and I was failing bad, but I knew I wanted to accomplish this goal. I wanted to be able to jump into the lake. Blink. I'm there. The whole week passed me by, and I was finally staring into the abyss of my fears that had gripped my soul for the many years. But it wasn't just that. A breeze hit my bare back, shivered through my spine. The past year had been something that I would always regret. Was there any point to this? Why should I give up my comfort, my safety? But I realized then I needed to give everything up to God. I knew after that week He was calling me to be a youth pastor. But that means I would have to give up the pain, the regret of the past year. I had to let go. Standing on the edge of the jumping board, the wooden board under my feet. Let go, I whispered. Hurling through the air, the wind flowing my hair back. Crash. The water ate me. My eyes closed, the water slowly consuming my body. I had jumped. But you'd be surprised to know I did survive. Something kicked in. I swam, and I swam to shore. Something that I had never done before. Something that only I could have done if I let go and let God. I got up, wet, but triumphant. I was a lighter man, the weight of the past off my shoulders. I had changed, and I had made those kids and the Lord and myself proud. I'm glad to admit that now I am still continuing to be a youth pastor, though I may fail from time to time. That week changed my life. All because I let go and let God. A decision I would never regret.